hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
Hello everybody and welcome to another patch for Marvel Heroes 2015. This particular one is 1.47 and it has some very exciting stuff ahead of the Age of Ultron movie coming out next week. You can see right here we've got the Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron packs available online. We also have the Vision pre-sale pack and the special Avengers box, which is some pretty cool stuff. In addition, the Avengers are now on the splash screen of the game as you start it up, and we also have the official Avengers Assemble event. Sorry about that. One thing is that the 6 of the major Avengers, the Hulk, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, and Hawkeye, are all playable by new players even if they don't own them. So they're essentially behaving as though they are starter heroes for this event. They also get 50% server-side XP boost as well, which apparently is actually visible, but it's really not. So there's actually some pretty cool stuff going on. I'm going to swap over to my good old Rocket Raccoon here. We're going to hop into Midtown. There's a lot of really awesome changes here, chief amongst which are some updates to several of the characters, them being the Black Widow and also Hawkeye. They needed a little bit of some QOL stuff and they got them this during this patch, but the reason that I'm actually in Midtown right now is to hopefully run into some of Ultron, some of the Ultron bad guys here, so we'll see if we can run into some of the Sentinels. But regardless, as I mentioned, Black Widow and Hawkeye both got updates. They were primarily to make the characters more balanced for endgame and give them a lot more viability with regard to the endgame DPS primarily. So there you can see some of the Ultron Sentinels running around here. And the idea being that Ultron is coming into the game and he will not be stopped until next week when he actually arrives. So it's kind of cool. It's a pretty neat workup towards what's coming up soon. The biggest thing for Black Widow is, like I said, she got a lot of her powers changes. A lot has changed with Widowmaker, her secondary resource. A lot of things have been adjusted to make everything more balanced. Coup de grace primarily was actually reduced substantially in its damage output because it was actually way too high. So that's going to take some getting used to by people who play Black Widow a lot. But either way, it's a pretty massive pass to try to fix everything. With Hawkeye, some of the main stuff was to fix a lot of his melee tree because a lot of it is really unusable since, I mean, he does use a bow and arrow. I don't know why you'd even want to use the melee tree, but, you know, whatever. Some people do, I imagine. So those are the major changes for Hawkeye, but also just adjusting some of his general power kit as well. In addition to that, as I mentioned, there are the loot buffs here. They actually increase the rate of the Stark Tech cubes dropping, which is very nice and extremely helpful. But obviously that's just for the Cosmic Patrol zones, not for anywhere else. There has also been loot adjustments to X-Defense and the Holosim, which is, you know, arguably somewhat nice. And actually we can see here, this is one of the Age of Ultron costumes. That one, particular one is for Iron Man, but there are quite a few of them. We've got the Captain America, we've got Hulk, Thor, pretty much anybody who is in the movie has their specific costume available. So some pretty big stuff. A lot of changes to the Axis rate as well, where the loot for Red Onslaught is now finalized. A lot of the bugs have been fixed, which is obviously extremely helpful. So just a fairly large, massive changes. In addition, this particular patch is actually fairly large because it includes a lot of stuff that's actually going to be coming out next week with Vision as well as Scarlet Witch's 52 review. So there's plenty to look forward to. Obviously, with the movie coming out next week, that's the major reason for a lot of this content push. But it's very exciting, very welcome. Obviously, as always, a lot of bug fixes in addition to all of the content changes, which is very welcome as well. The launcher has changed. There's a lot of minor changes to the interface, primarily with regard to missions, where now instead of just having a bunch of question marks, you actually see what the missions are that you're missing. So it can make it much, much easier to know exactly what you need to get. And we won't get the questions on the forum of what is the mission directly below this mission, or things of that nature. So that's going to be helpful in the future, I'm sure. Other than that, not really a great deal, although obviously that is quite a great deal on its own. So I hope that you enjoy it. Go out, try it out, see if you like any of the costumes. They're all pretty amazing. I really like them. But mostly we are greatly looking forward to next week with the release of the movie, as well as getting Vision and numerous other things on the test center. We will hopefully have achievements back on there, as well as Vision coming back for another round of testing. I'm still planning on doing my live stream for it, so make sure that you take a look tomorrow on Saturday in the probably around 8 or 8:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. I will be tweeting out when I start, so please make sure to follow me at Danny C Gaming Sci, so you'll be able to know whenever I start anything. But the last thing to note, the Avengers Daily Gift every day, as long as the Avengers event is going on, we'll be getting 5 Eternity Splinters and 5 Cube Shards, which are never a bad thing to have. But all of the Avengers have increased experience, so if you're going to play as them right now. Go have at it, have a great time, go and get those uniques, but as always, simply have fun playing the game. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.
It's as sweet as candy. Its taste is on my mind.